Okay, good morning, yogis. I hope you're enjoying the weather, and I hope you're ready for a nice beginner-friendly flow. So it's going to be a pretty straightforward sort of flow. We're not going to do anything too crazy. There'll be a few little challenging bits here and there, but it's going to be all round available for everyone. Now, you will need a block probably, or some sort of support. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use like a rolled up, I've got like a yoga mat cover there, but you could use like a rolled up towel or a blanket or something. So if you need to run off and grab one of those, I'll give you a few moments, maybe 10 seconds. Otherwise, yeah, just get yourself set up. Make sure you've got plenty of space to move around. You're not going to kick over a lampshade or something. And we're going to make our way down into a seated position. So we're not starting off on our backs today, we're starting off seated. So we'll all meet up cross-legged. So what I've got here is I've just got like a rolled up towel or my yoga mat cover. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to prop myself up on it, but not sitting all the way onto it. I'm actually just going to put my tailbone onto the mat. And hopefully what you can see here is my pelvis rolling forwards. And that's what I'm sort of just taking the pressure off my lower back here and taking the strain away. Not so much the strain, but taking the work off the abdominals to roll my pelvis forward for me, especially when we haven't awoken the body yet and awoken the abdominals. So that's what we're doing. We're just rolling forward. And if you don't have anything nearby, don't panic. You can even roll up the end of your mat. It's a little bit squishier, but it still does the trick. So, enough of that, let's get down to business. Let's sit up onto our support, and you may not need it. I quite like to do it when I'm just starting off in a seated position. Takes the pressure away from the hips. So, what we're going to do is start with a little bit of breath, guys. So, let's bring our hands to our chest and one hand to our chest or our ribs, one hand to our lower abdomen. Then you're going to let your shoulders fall away from your ears. And then you're going to bring your vision down into a soft gaze. We're not closing our eyes completely. And then I want you just to notice, and this is really cool, notice how immediately, as soon as you close your eyes, we might even open our eyes again. Then as you close your eyes, notice immediately how the other senses start to switch on. You'll immediately become aware of your hands on your body and the weight of your tailbone on whatever's propping you up. You might start to notice the hips. You might start to notice the lower back. And become aware of the heat of the room that you're sitting in and the texture of the air. Become aware of the heat of your body. Become aware of your skin. And finally, become aware of your breath. This is the metronome for our practice. We're not controlling the breath just yet. We're just observing. And we're not going to do any crazy breathing techniques. Feel what parts of your body are expanding and what parts are contracting. Is it your belly inflating? Is it your lower ribs? Is your chest expanding? Most likely at this stage it's your belly, but there's no right or wrong. Now, what we're going to do from here is take a deep breath in and try and fill the whole body up with air. And then you're going to open the mouth and exhale. 2 more of those. Inhale. Feel the hot air sort of brush past your tongue. 1 more of those. Inhale. Good. And we're still in that soft gaze. So we're not completely withdrawing. Let's take 1 more deep breath in. Now breathing out through the nose, and see if you can create a gentle whispering sound in your throat, an ujjayi breath as you exhale. Now this is a really powerful technique, and I'm going to start going into it more and more. As you exhale, you want to imagine the air brushing past your throat and out through your nose. And let's take 5 of those. Deep breath in, open the airways up, open the chest, inflate the belly. Then exhale, slightly constrict the larynx and create that whispering sound. Inhale, exhale. Don't force it out. Let it flow through the nose. One more of those. Inhale. And exhaling. Now let's try and maintain that breath the whole way through. From here we're going to reach the arms out. Place the fingertips on the mat. Roll the pelvis forward. Now if this creates any tension in the lower back, then you don't need to press yourself forward too far. But roll the pelvis forward and try and lift the navel towards your chest here, and you'll feel this nice lengthening through the front of the body. And they're basically pelvic tilts. Then we're going to exhale and just let yourself tip forward. And you'll notice how you're propped up by whatever you're sitting on, so it's a little bit trickier to roll backwards, which is good. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhaling. Maintain that ujjayi breath. Inhale. Hear that whispering. Exhale. Don't be too forceful about it. It might just be a quiet whisper. And we'll learn more about that in the upcoming classes, more about ujjayi breath. Let's do one more. Inhale. Exhale. Now you're pretty aware of the rotation or the mobility of your spine at this point, so let's find a neutral ground there. So we're just stacking above the hips here and lengthening the back of the neck again. Take a deep breath in. Reach out as far as you can with the hands and then press down to the fingertips. You want to feel a nice opening out over the trapeze here. So it's a pretty intense sort of little nerve stretch there. And then we're just going to rock the right ear towards the right shoulder using the next exhale. Now being gentle here, always when working into the neck, we're definitely not forcing anything. There's a lot of nerves, there's a lot going on. So let's not attempt it. But we do want to open up that space and those muscles that spend all day stabilizing your skull. That's it, and you're moving with breath and you're rocking from side to side. See if you can get caught up in that whispering sound as you exhale. Coming back up and exhaling. That's it. Now let's come over to the right hand side and we'll just hold for a couple of breaths. If you need to readjust your hands, you can slide them forward and back or whatever you like. Make sure you're staying upright. Make sure there's a lifting through the ribs here. And what we're going to do is we're rocking over into the right ear again, and we're just going to lift the chin and bring the chin in towards the throat just a touch. Once again, being mindful with your movement here, not throwing yourself around too much, especially when working with the neck here. And we're just scrubbing out any sticky points there. What we're really considering is the breath. See if you can hear that whispering. Soft gaze if you like. And coming back up, let's have a go on the other side here. Once again, being mindful, reach out over the opposite fingertips. And I love it, you can feel it right down through that right arm for myself anyway, even into the index finger there. It's really nice opening. And then just scrubbing out a little bit. You can even look towards the shoulder, look towards the ceiling. Perfect. We'll come back up to a neutral position. Let's just do some rotations. And come back in the opposite direction. Never lift the chin too far. Never fall back into the neck and expose the throat too much. We don't want to sort of put any pressure on the cervical spine there. Come back to a neutral position now. From here, let's, what we're going to do is reach the hands up towards the ceiling. Flip the palms. And bring the hands down behind the back of the neck. Thumbs right along the neck here. Lift the chin now. And lift, use the thumbs here to sort of wrap the thumbs around underneath the jawbone or behind the ear. And lift your skull away from your shoulders. Use a little bit of pressure through the palms here. Lifting the chin. Take 3 breaths here. You can even open the chest by winging the elbows out a little bit. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale. Remember your Ujjayi breath. Inhale. Exhale. Release. Now what we're going to do is bring the soles of the feet together. And it might look like this, and that's cool. And we're just going to bring our hands to our toes. We're going to loop the shoulders back and lift the chest. Sternum towards the ceiling. And then we're going to exhale and just let ourselves sort of fall away or fall out of the posture there. You're going to feel your shoulder blades separate a bit. Inhale. And exhaling. Now I'm keeping my gaze on my toes here. Otherwise it's tempting to sort of rock the head forward and back too much. It's up to you though. Roll the shoulders back, draw the shoulder blades towards the spine, really explode into the chest here. And then exhale, release. And let the back of your body open outwards. One more of those, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, come back to a neutral position here. Now, I'm going to shift myself around so you can see. And all I'm going to do from here, and this is really nice to sort of have myself propped up on this little towel, I'm going to bend both knees, but I'm going to extend the right leg. That's it. Now, we want to flex back of the toes, and what's going to happen naturally is you're going to want to sink into it to allow that hamstring to lengthen. But first we're going to rock forward. We're really going to let our sit bones come down to the ground and the towel lift our tailbone. And then I'm going to press into this right foot. Hopefully get this nice opening over the back of the thigh here. And I'm using my hands to hold me up. So it doesn't matter where your hands are. Maybe beside your body is cool. And then slide that right foot back and let's have a go into the left leg. And we can swap sides. Maybe use the exhale to press the foot away. Exhale. It doesn't matter too much with the breath here. Just stay long and steady in the breath. It's easy to get caught up trying to time breath and movement, but at this stage it's not a big deal. Perfect. One more. Press through the left heel, then we're going to slide that left foot back to meet the right. Now, from here, I'm actually going to shift myself off this towel, and I'm going to get it out of the way for a moment. And then I'm going to lean myself back. I'm going to have my hands here behind my hips, and I'm not falling in. I'm trying to press my navel or my lower ribs towards my knees. And your hands might be propping up. They might be walking sort of towards the heels. That's slightly more challenging. But where the arms aren't a big deal for now. What we want to do is just hold for 5 breaths. Now, what we're going to do actually is we're going to hold for 3 breaths. And I'm going to give you the option to step it up a little bit. So if there's tension in the lower back, I wouldn't go any further than this. If you feel like going a little bit further, then what we're going to do is lift the right leg. You're going to feel that into the hip. We want to lift the heel off the ground, but we want to lift the ribs towards the knees as well. Take a deep breath in. We've got 2 breaths to go. Exhale. Inhale. And lower down. Now, even if you want to bring the hands to the backs of the thighs, that's cool as well. That's another option. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhaling, lifting through the chest. You can bring this heel back if you like. Deep breath in. And then lower down. Make your way up onto hands and knees here. Release that tension. Straight into cat-cows. Press the chest forward. Exhale, arch the back. Inhale, press the chest forward. Exhale, arching the back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhaling. And exhaling. Good, let's come back to a neutral position. Sink back down over the heels. Extend the arms way out in front here. Take a deep breath in, come back up onto hands and knees. Tuck the tailbone under. And let's support that weight a little bit with the arms. Let's not lock into the elbows. Press the chest forward. Point your tailbone towards the heels here. Take a breath in. And exhale, lowering down. Let's move like that. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, tuck under. Inhale, inflate the chest. Exhale, coming back down. Inhale. And exhaling. We're going to hold for 2 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Really feel the sides wrap in. Inhale. Exhale. Now what we're going to do is on the last breath in, we're actually going to try to tuck the toes under. And as we exhale, we're lifting the knees and coming up into our downward dog. Start to walk out through the heels a little bit. If you need to walk the feet forward a little bit, that's fine. That's it. Find your Ujjayi breath again. Is it still there? Let's take one more deep breath in and a long exhale. Squeeze down through both heels even. Come forward. Come back down to the knees here. Bring the knees in nice and close. Untuck the toes and rock into the hips. Rocking from side to side once again. Staying with breath, but not too concerned with timing breath and movement at this stage. What we want to focus on is not losing the breath, keeping our awareness fully wrapped into the breath. Now, let's come back up to a neutral position. Bring the knees back underneath the hips, tuck the toes. Let's lift into downward dog. Let's take a deep breath in. Press your sit bones, press your tailbone towards the wall behind you. Put a little bit of pressure through the heels. Lift your hips towards the ceiling. And bend the knees, start to walk towards the front of the mat. Now, if that means walking the hands back a little bit to make it easier for yourself, that's fine. From here, let's find a half lift. So, sliding the hands up the shins, lifting the chest, deep breath in. And then exhaling, folding forward, sliding the hands back down and allowing your shoulder blades to separate here. 2 more of those. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Last one, inhaling. Let's hold. Perfect. Now we're going to take 3 breaths here. Press down into the heels. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Maybe draw the shoulder blades in towards the spine a little bit. Exhale. Perfect. Now, it's going to get really interesting. What we're going to do is bend the knees, sink the weight down over the heels, and you can just bring the hands to the tops of the knees if you like, and lift through the chest, but not over falling into the lower back. We want nice neutral spines here. If you want, you can reach the hands out. Try not to let the knees fall in. Try not to let them fall out to the side. Soften the shoulders. Take a deep breath in. We're going to exhale, fold forward. Inhale, chest lifts. Exhale, come all the way down to hands and knees here. Sink back down over the heels. Bring the knuckles in, or bring the fingers in, create some fists here, and then press the knuckles forward and extend all the way up over the spine. From tailbone to knuckles, creating length. Take a deep breath in and a long exhale. Ujjayi breaths. We've got two more. Inhale. Exhaling. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Palms are coming back down to the mat. Extending the fingers out in front of the body, coming back up. Let's find our downward dog. Let's tuck the toes, lift the knees. Using the exhale, 3 breaths again, guys. Deep breath in. And exhaling. Play with your posture a little bit. Remember, we're not statues. We can move around. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhaling. And exhaling. Walking towards the wrists. Now we're going to take a forward fold here. So make sure you have plenty of space in between the feet here. About 2 fists distance in between the feet is pretty good alignment. Now we're going to bring the hands back up to the shins. We're going to lift. We're going to find our half lift here. And then we're going to bend the knees a lot. Bring the lowest ribs down to the thighs and wrap the hands around behind the backs of the thighs there. Now I like to flex back, dorsiflex back on the toes. This just awakens the arches nicely. What you're going to find is you're going to want to look in front of you. Instead, let's look between the knees. Take a deep breath in, and then start to guide yourself in towards your thighs. But more importantly than pulling yourself in, is lifting the tailbone towards the ceiling. That's where you'll find the nice big opening. And then the upper body can actually just fold forward, but we're not putting sort of pressure into our lower back, or we're not pulling ourselves in. It's all coming from the lower half of the body here. You might even just let your neck sort of flop around a bit just to make sure it's all nice and loose. Just take a deep breath in. See if you can find that Ujjayi breath as you exhale, and try and sort of hollow out through the sides of the body here to allow yourself to melt into your posture even better. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Releasing hands, lifting back up, bending the knees, and coming back down on to hands and knees here. So let's release the lower back a little bit. Let's bring this right knee forward, slide this left leg back. Now, giving you options here, you can just sit back down over the heel. A really nice passive variation of pigeon pose. If you want to bring this knee in towards the left wrist, that's fine. And sit back down. No, bring the right knee behind the right wrist and bring the left foot down behind the left hip. Take a deep breath in. We're going to tuck the tailbone under. And then exhale, sink down. Now you might just look like this, and that's fine as well. And from there you can even just be rocking from side to side. If you're in your pigeon pose, then we're staying upright and we're just lifting the chest and arching the back, just to create that really nice little, that's sort of like swiveling in the ball and socket there. Take a deep breath in And a long exhale, then just let yourself melt down into the full expression of your posture wherever you are. Inhale and exhale. And we're going to lift the weight away from this knee first and just bring that right knee back. Let me extend the right leg, press into the heel. Do whatever you need to do. If you need to rock that knee around a little bit, that's fine as well. And we're going to start on the other side. So let's make sure you're sort of set up here with the knees under the hips, shoulders just above the wrists. Bring the left knee into the left wrist. Definitely don't bring it over to the right wrist. Don't listen to me there. And then wrap or bring this left foot out. And we can start to slide back, and you might get to here, and that's fine. You might just stay onto your knee like that, and that's cool. This is actually really nice for rocking from side to side. We might be melting down into the posture a little bit, and we're staying supported here. So having a bit of pressure through your hands. You can have a block under your knee, but at this point we're not lowering ourselves down into it too much. We're just going to lift the chest, and exhale, let yourself sort of fall into it. Inhale, lift the chest, and let yourself fall into it. Inhale, exhale, inhale, fully express your posture wherever it is, whatever it looks like, sitting down into it. Just give yourself 3 deep breaths here. See if you can find that Ujjayi breath. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. Bringing the weight back into the right knee here. And just taking some counter movements. So, whatever that might be, extending the left leg, rotating the knee, rocking from side to side, Vinyasa, whatever's working for you. And then we'll come back up onto hands and knees, walk the knees towards the wrists, and sink down, extend the legs. Reclining position here. Take a deep breath in, lift the chest. Make sure you've got room to lay back on your mat, and then laying down. Perfect. Bring the knees in towards the body. Use your exhale to squeeze in a little bit and gently rock from side to side here. Lengthen the back of the neck by tucking the chin just a little bit. Take a deep breath in. Let the legs fall or the knees fall away from the body. Let them separate out. Exhale, draw them in towards the ribs. Soften your gaze just like we did at the start. Take a deep breath in and a long exhale. And then bring the knees back in towards the midline. On your next exhale, wrapping yourself in. And unfolding. Savasana. Now, optional to close the eyes or keep the eyes open or have a soft gaze, it's up to you. Wherever you are, find a comfortable spot for your arms. Definitely prop the back of the neck up if there's any tension in the back of the neck. Shuffle the shoulders away from the ears a little bit. And let yourself soften, let yourself melt outwards. Let your feet fall out to the side. See if you can find your Ujjayi breath. Just for 2 or 3 breaths. And then let go of that Ujjayi breath. Let the air run smoothly through your nose. Notice the difference. Now take a deep breath in. Open the mouth, let all the tension fall out on the exhale breath. And now give yourself a few moments in complete stillness. The body's completely relaxed. You're just melting in. And let it all go. And take a deep breath in now. Reach the hands up overhead. And walk the feet back towards the body. Bring the hands to the knees. Gentle rock from side to side. And then making your way up into a seated position. With hands at heart center. We'll seal our practice with some gratitude for ourselves, our bodies, our ability to change and learn and grow and adapt. For the food we eat, the water we drink, and the air we breathe, let's take a deep breath in. Namaste.